We're connected? What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast. If you're new here and enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing. We've got a whole bunch of that stuff going on around here. When you do subscribe, leave a like or hang out with us in the live chat like you're going to do today. Helps us share conversations and laughs like this with more people. So do consider doing that. Helps us out a ton. Now, before I can introduce you guys to my guest this week, I got to share a little something about vacations. It's getting nice outside, all right? And there's no nicer or better spot than today's video sponsor, Alpine House 2, for you and your family to go do a little getaway, enjoy the Upper Peninsula, and I'm talking Alpine House 2. There's nothing better than a well-earned vacation, whether it's like just a getaway from work for a little bit, or you and the family have been really wanting to go do something fun. Alpine House 2 is a classic Swiss chalet duplex A-frame with a log cabin interior located directly across the street from the Ski Relay Resort in Iron River, Michigan, which I don't know how much more skiing you're going to be able to do the rest of the year. So if you can still get any out, who knows? It's Wisconsin and Michigan. Our weather is a little crazy. Maybe you can sneak a couple last ski trips in there before it's over. But aside from that, they're surrounded by forests, rivers, lakes, and more specifically Iron River, makes Alpine House 2 the destination for fishing, hunting, hiking, and then obviously when we do get to the winter, the snowmobiling and all that stuff. Currently, they've been booked up now on Airbnb for, I want to say, 4 or 5 months, pretty exclusively on the weekends. But now that the skiing season is going to be sort of coming to an end and the resort's going to be closed, going to be a ton more availability, so you'll definitely want to check that out. It's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. That's at ALPINEHAUS number 2. On Instagram, you can stay up to date with future bookings, renovations, and more. That's one last time. That's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. Tell them Rita Detox sent you, and they will set you up with a vacation. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, we got to give a very wet Detox welcome to the other half of the What's Going On podcast. Sarah is in the building.
Woo!
You're here. We had Diego on like a month, not even a month ago, maybe, and now you're here.
Gorgeous.
Do we have any tea? What's Diego been up to? Not to make this all about him now.
Diego's straight now.
I have heard that. I've heard that he's straight now. How does that affect your guys' friendship?
It makes me think that something fishy might happen in 2028.
Oh yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know that we're gonna have any more elections, so maybe he'll have to stay. He'll just be stuck. He'll just be stuck straight. He can't go back.
Yeah, JD Vance needs a new couch, so
Yeah.
Diego can bend over.
Yeah, that is excellent. That would be phenomenal. But it's aside from Diego knowing everybody, it's National Women's Month right now.
Thank God.
National Women's Day was the other day.
Yeah.
You were telling me before we went live, you read tons of feminist literature. Did you do anything fun on National Women's Day?
Here's the thing. I read Sarah Ahmed's How to Be a Feminist, and she essentially has a whole chapter of how to be a feminist killjoy. So I just kind of went around and ruined everyone's fun.
Yeah. How do you ruin someone's fun?
I asked for 22 cents to the dollar.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Excellent. Yeah.
Just to even it out.
Yeah. That'll do it.
I asked my friends to braid my hair just to involve some more feminine bonding.
Yeah, you need it.
Absolutely. And I say that Melania Trump isn't always wrong.
Wow. Yeah. Dude, there was surprisingly a little like a week there leading up to the election where I thought, is she gonna turn? Is this what's happening? My algorithm, I will never forgive my algorithm for having me believe that I thought Kamala was winning in a landslide, bro.
She was brat.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, she's like, I remember sort of like 2016 when like Trump, there was like this movement on YouTube where it felt like, oh man, this guy's getting a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And it felt like that in reverse, but for her on TikTok, and I'm like, yo, she's killing this dude. Yeah. And then motherfuckers just didn't show out, man, or they did show out and they were just lying to us the whole time.
They fell out of that damn coconut tree.
Yeah, we got smoked, dude. We got smoked. But so all right, so National Women's Day, National Women's Month. What do we do to celebrate? What do we do to show that we're feminists? Or to celebrate the women in our lives? So
until 2022, I was only ever friends with girls. So I am actually returning to that.
Yeah. All right. We're getting back to basics.
I had 3 horrible years.
with male friends. Yeah. All right. Excellent. What was that? So that was a conscious decision for the first 22 years. And then you were like, you know what? I'll give these guys a chance. And then
it was partially Catholic upbringing and gender segregation during lunch.
Oh,
and
really? You guys weren't allowed to sit?
No.
Was it like completely different rooms or just like they're on one side of the room and you're on
They were
those?
at like a different table than us, and like so we weren't allowed to talk to them. And then I went to an all-girls high school, and so just by chance, never really got to meet the other half.
Wow, are you guys like when you're separated? Are they like? I mean, are you? I'm sure you had to have had like a crush or whatnot, like growing up. Like, are you like just like looking across the lunchroom, like, oh, there's Troy? Like,
here's the thing, I'm pretty sure I'm autistic.
Okay.
Because I was just in the lunchroom, like, boop, boop.
Yeah,
just
sure.
doing like sensory exploration.
Sure, yeah.
Not really even aware that sexuality was possible.
Yeah. They never explained it either. They were never like, this is why we have to separate. Like, did they give you guys a reason? Like, oh, the boys go over here and the girls go over here? Or?
I just knew if you went over there, you were whorish. And I was like, quite frankly, I'm God-fearing, and I don't really want that.
Yeah, wow. So are you still religious now?
Not even a little.
Not even a tiny bit. Not even an ounce. When did you have like an awakening that you weren't?
Pretty much since I started. I never really believed in it. I just really believed in being a good person. And I had a pretty skewed understanding of what goodness was.
Yeah. Was something you thought was good that maybe now you're like,
I definitely thought like judging others was a good thing, where like if you know what goodness is, you should tell others that what they're doing is bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's pretty an unlikable trait.
That's super unlikable. Yeah, I think that's part of the bad rap that they get. That and the kids stuff, you know. I grew up. I don't know. I think it's Catholic. You remember like Lent's going on right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you? What was your best?
40 hard.
Yeah. 40 hard. What was your best? What was the best thing you ever gave up for Lent? Because I always thought that was hilarious. My mom coming to me in like 4th grade and be like, what are you going to give up this year? Be like, I don't fucking know.
Just to give you an idea of how absolutely annoying I was, I would fight with my religion teachers and say,
oh no,
why must we take away when we have so much to give? I'm going to give one good thing these 40 days every day.
Excellent. So you wouldn't give shit up?
No.
You would talk your way out of it.
I have not once denied myself joy.
Excellent. I wish I could say the same. Yeah, I would always like give up like something stupid. I'd be like, I'm going to give up Coca-Cola, because I never really drank a lot of soda as a kid anyways. Like we had like Sprite, if my parents would bring it in the house.
Heaven.
And then literally for that 40 days, it was like, I'll go to a friend's house. All I got to drink it. They don't even have water. They're just like, oh, we got Coke. My dad's Coke. We could drink my dad's Coke. Or we go to the field trip, and they're like, oh, well, you get a soda with your meal.
My God.
And I had to come home, and the shame I had when I had to tell my mom, like,
I relapsed. Yeah. I'm putting that chip back.
Yeah, I had soda, man. I had soda. Did you ever do like the blessing, the Easter blessings? Did you get like a basket blessed?
I don't think so.
Dude.
My parents were like pretty bad Catholics for how I turned out.
They were Sunday warrior, just show up on Sundays.
Yeah, because my dad was Protestant, so he like didn't even really receive Eucharist or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. Yeah. My parents were bad at it too, but we just went to the big things. Like, okay, once a year we're gonna do this Christmas thing, then we're gonna do this Easter thing. That's it. What is what you're saying right now?
So it's like the bread. So Catholics believe that it's the body of Christ.
Yes.
And so my dad is not Catholic, so they wouldn't give it to him. It was like forbidden. So he would just sit in the back and sing really loudly because he loved to sing.
So wait, so he was like actively involving himself in this church, but he wasn't allowed. They were like, we don't see you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He essentially just went for the attention, I think.
Yeah.
He just
that's
liked
healthy.
show ponying in front of everyone.
All right, yeah, I can get behind that. Wow. All right. So you're raised Catholic. You're at Catholic school, and then you go to an all-girls high school.
Yes.
Is it not Catholic, or it is Catholic?
It is Catholic. However, it is Catholic in the sense that it's just gay nuns. It's just all lesbian nuns who fight for LGBTQ rights in the church.
Do they really?
Yeah, they like went to Pope, the one before Francis, Benedict or something.
I
don't know.
I know
One
the
of
school.
them.
Yeah.
And they were like, you need to let gay people get married because we're gay.
Yeah.
And
what do you say? I'll think about it.
I think he was just like, it's this whole Catholic theory thing that it's not even worth getting into because we're going to get insane comments.
Yeah. I will. I'm used to that.
Yeah, they have the whole belief where it's like, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. And so they love gay people. They just hate when they act gay.
That sounds like everybody from my hometown. It sounds like everybody from where I'm from. They're like, no, I don't got a problem with it. Just don't hit on me. I'm like, yeah, man, you've never washed your ass. I don't think any gay dude's hitting on you, you know? Or it's like,
there's a fetish for that.
Really? Oh. Yeah.
Just go on sniffies.
What is sniffies? It's not a thing.
It is a sex hookup app that is so deregulated it's not allowed on the App Store. You have to be on a browser, and it shows when you're online and your location.
Whoa. Sniffies.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
That makes me
primarily
sad.
for gay men, but
Gay men.
anyone can participate, I'm sure.
Yeah, Sniffies is an interesting name. That's yeah. That's tough. I've not heard of that actually. Wow. And I thought I was with the culture. I once had to join a furries dating website.
Oh, without me?
Yeah. yeah. Are you a furry? Are you into that?
Just a big supporter of the community.
Yeah, me too. We had a furry because I was trying to book a furry for the show years ago.
Oh my god.
He's excellent. Probably my favorite episode I've ever done.
In suit?
Yeah, full in suit.
Oh my god.
He was,
or persona.
Yeah, he was a special guest at a live show I did not super long ago. But it was awesome, man. But I had to join the site, and I was so scared. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm getting into, and that was pretty intense too.
You're like, what if I love it?
Dude, yeah. It was like it would tell you exactly how far away you were from people, kind of like how Grindr does, whatever. But it was like, and then it had everybody's personas, and then you could just message people, like nobody has to like friend you or anything. It was a lot, and it was. I felt bad like having to explain to some people that like, no, I'm literally just here to like interview somebody. Like, will somebody come meet me at like a Culver's or a safe place? And so that is interesting. Wow. So deregulated app like that and for Sniffies. Okay. So aside from Sniffies, bringing us back to we're in Catholic school.
Yes.
All women.
All women.
High school.
Heaven. Oh my god.
It's great. You liked it?
I fucking loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I had unchecked confidence, and I got to be like the star of the show, and everyone just was so fun.
Yeah.
Like we all just had each other's backs. Like everyone just brought speakers in the hallway. We were doing the grind on me on the ground.
Wow.
Every class was feminist literature.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no like what's different? I mean, I guess you didn't go to like a regular high school, but for your friends that went to like other high schools, what are like the biggest differences you see, plus sides or downsides maybe?
Plus sides is when they got to college, they knew how to dress.
Yeah.
I wore just like a skirt and leggings and like a polo. And so every day in college, I would just wear a hoodie and yoga pants, and everyone else like looked nice.
Yeah, sure.
Another plus is you could talk to boys. I
That helps,
had no idea how to.
Did you ever did you ever have a crush or like a fling with a boy from another school or something?
1000% a crush, never reciprocated.
Sure, okay. Did you ever talk to any? You never like messaged any or? Did you have any friends that were dudes?
I did. However, they were like the dudes that were like the one boy in the musical.
Yeah.
That very specific type.
Yeah, I love that kind. That's awesome.
They like campaigned for Hillary.
Yeah. They're wearing the suits. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. So you didn't have. So what were those first meetings with real boys?
I forgot they went to school. I thought they were just running wild.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
And so I was reminded that sexism is alive and real.
Yeah.
I found out that girls aren't supposed to play drinking games and that we're just supposed to watch.
What?
I also like went to like a pretty traditional. I promise I'm not this Catholic, but it was a Catholic college.
Dude, you're fully in it. There's someone who's like, "Oh, I'm not religious." It's like you thing to thing.
They give
man.
good scholarships.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a private school then, or
Yes,
okay,
yeah, in
wow.
Ohio of all places.
In Ohio.
It was a reproduction of the Stanford prison experiment, in my opinion.
Really? All right. Ohio's crazy too. I mean, the kids have probably told you about Ohio. I know you work with
average
kids,
dog
so.
from Ohio. I get that every day.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So what's Ohio like at Catholic college?
I got made fun of for wearing sunglasses.
By the other women there?
No, by the boys.
Oh, there's men now. Yeah. There's guys now. Okay, that changes things.
I learned how to skateboard because I was so sexually frustrated.
Really? Did you do in hopes of maybe linking up? Was there like a cute boy that skateboarded? You're like,
no, just to get away.
All right, just angsty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Were you like afraid of guys a little bit in college then?
1000%.
Yeah, I don't know how you could. I mean, I would be afraid of women if I didn't wasn't around them like growing up all the time. And then all of a sudden I'm like 20 and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm in a class now with.
Yeah. And my entire education, I also minored in gender studies. So all I read about for class was sexual assault.
All right, yeah.
So I'm like, I actually don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah. So you're just like on it. Your like spidey sense is tingling. Especially.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
scary.
I don't think they like me. I think I'm weird to be around,
Mm.
and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. I mean, shit, bro. Being all Catholic, all girls schools, 2 of those.
Yeah.
You probably were weird.
I still am,
You still
pretty
are,
actively.
Yeah. Actively engaging it. I respect that. So, I mean, I guess we're talking a lot here about, I guess, National Women's Day or Women's Month.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a pick me is a word that's thrown around a bunch about girls all the time. I don't see it thrown around as much for dudes.
Oh my God,
As
are
someone
you
who
kidding?
grew up with all chicks for a huge chunk of your life.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to experience men from like
Mm-hmm.
almost definitely a biased point of view, right? But a different point of view, a different perspective. What makes a pick me dude?
I would say any dude that is like really emphatic that he's a feminist. Because I'm like,
yeah.
if you have to say it enough times, it's probably not true.
No, yeah.
Like, it's like white people that are like, I'm not racist.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, maybe just
maybe you are.
don't be like that then.
Yeah. It's like, that's interesting. Yeah, I think you know what else I think makes a pick me dude is like if you see them on TikTok and they're like cutting a vegetable of some sort.
Yeah.
And they've got like the little the veins and the tattoos out, and they've got the Chandler Bing haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving
Holding
you
a dog.
dating advice, like if he does this, then he's not that into. It's like, just turn the knife around. Man. Come on.
Just walk into it a few times.
Yeah. It is. I think if you have to, but you're right. If you have to mention that you're a feminist, then that's interesting.
I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like any dude that is like in a women's dominated field, I find them to often be pick-me's.
Yeah. How so? What's a women-dominated field that you think?
Like nursing.
I could see that, dude.
Like, I feel like male nurses that are like really, like, obviously we need more of them, but
sure, yeah.
I often find that they are like kind of wanting people to pick them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Or how many rings can a guy wear before he's a pick-me? You think there's a certain number? Because sometimes
2.
that's what I'm thinking. I don't know that you can wear more than 2. Like I get
Yeah.
nervous. I was trying to decide today. Do I wear another one? I'm like, I think one's.
Yeah.
I gotta show that I'm.
2's pushing it.
Yeah. 2 is close. Yeah. Especially if they've got like 4 or 5 different rings on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe different colors.
Yeah.
Nails painted. That's a pick-me.
Yeah.
100%.
And someone who, it's similar to how like girls that identify as publicly bi but only date men, similar like dudes that are like quote unquote bi but only date women.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I do think we gotta figure something out with that. Like you gotta do something to like prove it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I not to be like a douche, but like, come on, man. I know so many people that swear they're bi, and I'm like, man, I believe you. I do. I want to believe you, but you have never once even been on a date.
Yes.
Or at least I have not heard of you even being on a date
Yeah.
with the other side. So come on.
I am of the full belief, this is when I get political, I'm like, labels are only important in political movements. And so if we are not building a coalition for a tangible right, if you're claiming the label just to like fit in, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, honestly.
Your rights aren't being taken away.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a big. I'm not someone to probably be in this discourse, but there's definitely. I've seen the discourse online where there's like a huge movement of people sort of calling out. It's like suburban white women that only date men, but say that they're bi, because it's like white women are a marginalized group, but compared to all of the other they're like, well, I need something else so that I can be,
Yeah.
And again, I'm not necessarily saying that, but I have heard that online a bunch. So
I will say, if you have any thoughts about this matter before you comment, read They Were Her Property.
They Were Her Property.
I don't remember, bad on me to not remember the author's name, but it's essentially about how like white women were one of the big perpetrators of slavery in the United States.
Jesus.
So before you comment.
Yeah. Think about it. Yeah, you guys were
Do the text.
I know. There's plenty of comedians that have like jokes about that too, where it's like, you guys were doing just as bad. It's always like a straight white comic like talking about it, but it's like,
Yeah.
hey, ladies, we were right there with me, you know, like you were right there next to me.
Yeah.
What's something that you have been wanting to fight people about? What's an opinion while we're on hot takes? Is there like something you've been like, maybe you're scrolling TikTok or, you know, hopefully not Instagram Reels, but, you know, every once in a while it happens and you like open up the comments and you're just like, and you think about leaving that mean comment, or maybe you do leave that mean comment. What's something you like feel like arguing about lately, or like a boomer take of yours?
What have I been upset about lately? I've been upset because some of these are like not fun.
All right.
But I think my like most fun take that I have right now is therapy speech in friendships.
I've been hearing about this.
Yeah, like people.
How do you feel about it?
I think everyone has a pretty gross misunderstanding of what boundaries are.
Yeah.
Boundaries aren't like telling people what to do. Boundaries are telling people what you will do if an action continues.
Yeah.
And so I get really annoyed when people are like, you're toxic, or like, you're a narcissist, or you need better boundaries.
Narcissist is the one that's like thrown around so often.
Yeah.
Like we are going to start to devalue what this means. Like if we just label everyone we disagree with, or like every ex is a narcissist. It's like, do we know that? No, you probably don't. You have no idea what you're talking about in most cases. The thing that I think too with like the therapy speak is like, people will say they're like setting a boundary or whatever, and it's just like an excuse for them to be a shitty friend.
Totally.
Like it literally is just them like, I don't do that with this. I don't eat out at blank at this time. It's like, dude, it's their fucking birthday. Like your friend asked you to come to their birthday party. Like you're like drawing some boundary, like making some crazy stand right now for your mental health.
Oh my God.
It's like, all right, I'm sorry you had to go out twice this week, dude. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Like and I've noticed that a bunch too. I feel like people are sort of like losing, and I've seen this talked about on TikTok, where it's like community versus convenience, and it's like everybody is like, oh, it's all about me.
Yeah.
I got to do what's best for me. I got to do what's convenient for me. And it's like, dude, sometimes like being a friend or being even a sibling or a good son, whatever, like it's not always convenient, but like then people complain about how lonely they are.
Exactly.
As a lonely motherfucker, like don't get me wrong, like I have those days too, but it's like you can't complain about how lonely you are and then you never do anything for anyone else. Like I don't know, like you just can't.
Yeah.
I see that all the time.
It's definitely very frustrating when people assign a lot of their like emotional issues onto others without taking accountability of the way that they're also playing into it.
Yeah.
Like obviously in situations of abuse, that's like an outlier, but in situations where like you're feeling lonely, you have conflict with a friend, sure, it's easy as hell to just be like, they're a bad person, they're a bad friend, they're doing all this wrong.
Yeah.
And how are you like taking part in that as well? Have you told them that these things are hurting your feelings? Do they know that you are reacting this way? Or are you just withdrawing and complaining about it to everyone else?
Exactly, yeah. And don't get me wrong, like we've all had times where maybe we aren't the most emotionally intelligent, and we have those moments where it's like,
you need to
I'm
vent.
sitting there, I'm complaining about this person or whatever, and it's like someone goes, well, did you tell him? And you're like, no, I didn't tell him yet. Like let me work up to it, you know. But it is something that I just think is like so lost right now, where so many people are like, we jump to like just go get validation elsewhere instead of just like, dude, if your friend is like asking you for this favor, like just, you know, I don't know, like if I had a friend of mine whose like tire got like blew up not super long ago, and like they called me and they're like, hey, can like you help me out, like whatever, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I can help you out. And when I'm going and I'm talking with this person, I'm helping them out, then they're explaining to me that they like called like 2 or 3 other people, and I know these other people, and so then I like ended up catching up with them like a month or so later, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I was helping, you know, so and so with their tire, and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, I just honestly, bro, I was having a bad week, like I couldn't, blah, and I'm like, like you're just, I know it's not convenient, like I'm sure you had a bad day at work, but like your homie's tire blew up. That's the worst. You can't just be there in some way or offer some sort of support. You're just going to ignore the call and whatever. I don't know. I think that's lame. And I think that's why a lot of us are in the place we're at mentally.
Yeah. You know? Relationships like actually take work. You can't just like have fun with them. And then, I mean, sure, you can have some relationships like that, but
but people like, I think it's just like people really are, and maybe I think social media is helping with this way of thinking, but like they really think that we're like all just NPCs in their life. Like, and don't get me wrong, I've joked a bunch about like certain people being NPCs, whatever. We do that all the time here. But it's like, dude, you cannot just expect every single one of your friends that the second you want to talk to somebody, or the second you need a favor, or the second you need whatever, that gets taken care of, and you never like. It's not a video game. You're not the main character. Like, they also have those same issues and those same things going on. I just think people miss that. Miss that a bunch.
One of my favorite tweets is like, the only person in the world that's like for sure not an NPC is Lori Lightfoot.
Who is that?
She's the former Chicago mayor. You need to look her up. She looks like the Penguin from Batman.
All right, can we see this?
Someone was like, she looks like she sprints everywhere she goes.
No, fuck it. Can you pull this up? Can we see this? Lori Lightfoot?
Lori Lightfoot.
Is it Lori?
Yes, Lori. She is a famous black lesbian who is like a cartoon villain. She is so fucking funny. She's the one who, on a Zoom call with the city of Chicago, oops, she said, I have the biggest dick in Chicago.
She said that?
Yeah.
You're the tier list one. Yeah, there you go. This is her, for everybody wondering. Excellent.
She is like fully player one, main character.
Is she cool? Are we a fan? Or I don't know.
I don't really know any of her politics.
I mean, I can just tell by looking at her that she's a little unhinged for sure. And hopefully in a good way. I don't know.
When she lost the election for re-election of mayor, someone found her at a Walgreens walking out with a case of Corona.
Shit, dude. Yeah, all right.
And she's truly fantastic.
I'm going to have to do a little deep dive then. That's excellent. So she just does what she wants, man.
Yeah.
I respect that. The biggest balls in Chicago right there. Shout out Lori Lightfoot. Let's get you on the pod.
Chicago listeners, let us know what she did to your city.
Yeah, let me know. Was she good or bad? We have no idea, but she seems like a vibe. Yeah, dude, I can get behind that. I can get behind the therapy speak. A boomer take. I was talking to a friend of mine. They said that poor people shouldn't have kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So just like eugenics?
And I can't. That's what and I can't claim this one, right? And so my light pushback was, well, if I understand what they're saying. They're like, it's parents, like people of low economic status. They have these kids that they literally just don't have the financial resources to provide a good upbringing for these children.
Okay.
And then that, necessarily is hurting the kids, and then they're going to grow up and perpetuate the cycle, whatever. Yeah. And I don't know that it's fair to just tell poor people they can't have kids, as opposed to maybe fighting the systems that, we should probably be building more systems to help.
I was going to say maybe like a better social security net.
Yeah, and
I was also like, are they going to force sterilize people? How is that going to be?
And you got to think too, as someone who grew up pretty poor, I just think a lot of us are dumb, and the sex ed is not always there. Literally. So they just be fucking, man. Go to Walmart on a Monday in West Milwaukee
and try not to get bricked.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I went to Walmart today. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me that those people do be fucking. Mm-hmm. And they do. They procreate, and then their kids are just as, whatever. But it's not, who am I to tell them that they can't do it, Yeah. I can't do that.
I mean, my parents probably shouldn't have.
Do you, because, so their pushback was essentially well, the systems aren't going to get better, so what are we going to do?
So we're just going to be hopeless? And just give up?
I don't know. I guess poor people just can't have fucking kids.
That is crazy.
We're going to end up in, have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, I think.
Yeah. Yes, that's the one where everyone is so dumb. This guy volunteered. He gets
wakes up
in the future, and everybody, because it's sort of explained all the dumbest people make the most amount of kids. So that
I think I've only read the Wikipedia about this.
Yeah. And eventually, I forget, he wakes up a couple thousand years in the future, and the world is trash, and he's the smartest guy on the planet. And he's the most average person ever. Yeah. Because all the dumbest people just kept procreating. So maybe that's sort of their argument, is maybe that's where we're gonna end up.
I think that's a little catastrophic.
Yeah, fair.
And I would say, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, why live in a world where you have no hope for it to get better? Yeah. Why would you approach politics or your system of beliefs in the sense that there's no reason to fight for anything else?
Yeah. So you stay pretty optimistic, even as a feminist here in 2025?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
how do you do that? Because it's hard. It's like I feel like most people that and I don't know, like we haven't talked like politics or whatever. I feel like most people that are leaning the way you're leaning, like we're not feeling great right now.
Yeah.
About what's the state of the world, as Jaden Smith would say.
Yeah, we need to talk about serious stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I would say optimism and hopefulness is like the only way I can do it. Like, obviously, there's a space for anger and rage, and because I'm not subjected to various types of marginalization or like prejudice, I probably have more energy and space to feel optimistic.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of joy and power in reading theory, like reading Angela Davis and like Bell Hooks. That like is so motivating and inspiring to know that like geniuses come before me and they have such great ideas and plans, and that we're not the first generation to have these fears. Yeah. And I think it's so cool that a better world is possible and that there's people that want to work toward it. And you just kind of focus on the small wins.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, it gets sad. It gets sad. Some of it for me, like as a cynical person, I hear it and I'm like, it kind of blows that we're not the first generation to have these problems have been going on for generations. Like, when is the first generation going to exist that is going to maybe have a substantial decrease in these? Because it feels like we at the most inch. We inch forward, and definitely can take pride in those inches. But it's like, then something like what happened in November happens, and then you have, new justices.
Project 2025.
Yeah, Project 25 is a full effect. I mean, we're feeling it right now, So it stuff like that, you take a couple steps forward maybe after years and years and years. I don't know what the hell that was.
That was Project 2025.
That was right there. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you just like take like this leap backwards. Yeah. It feels like, at least. Who knows, where we will be in a couple of years, but not great. Not great.
And I agree with you. It is like absolutely disheartening and like scary and sad. Yeah. And my response to that is like, I'm not going to give up.
Sure. Yeah. Don't give up. That's great. It's good to be optimistic. I think that's definitely a mindset I'm better at adopting, I think, in other aspects of my life. But politically it was just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit.
And they make the system like intentionally confusing. There's a lot of bureaucracy. Yeah. And the leaders that claim to support our beliefs, I'm assuming we share like similar.
Probably, yeah.
I find to be pretty like sheep or wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, they essentially claim they can't do anything, and then Trump gets in
pussy,
office.
Bro.
Yeah,
they're all pussy. I can't stand. It makes me so mad as somebody, as like a leftist, where it's like all of our politicians that are supposed to be left leaning, which we are a super conservative country when it comes to like our politics. I think if you direct a ballot initiative anything, we're a lot more progressive than we get credit for. But literally all the people that represent us, they're all fucking Republicans or diet Republicans. Yeah. And you still have I cannot get behind how like many people are crying on Fox News every day about how woke shit is. Like, dude, the wokest person in our politics just wants to give you free healthcare. Like, we are not doing anything out of the ordinary here. Everything is fucking Republican here. Everything. And so it's like, I don't know.
Harris and Biden walking out Liz Cheney.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad look. Like, we try to be like they just try to be nice and like extend this olive branch all the time. And then when Trump just like spits in their face, they're like, well,
there's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do. It's like, that's crazy, because I don't know if you guys fucking remember, but when Obama was leaving office, the Republicans fought pretty hard to make sure he couldn't put a fucking justice in. Yeah. And when Trump was doing the same thing, y'all didn't do shit. So it's like, I don't know. It is whack. It is whack. We got, Aisa says, that quote from, I think she's talking about the mayor here, Lori Lightfoot, is the reason my husband wanted to move out of Chicago.
Damn. Was he emasculated?
Yeah. She was like, I have the biggest balls, I respect, I mean, I have nothing else. I feel like I've seen her face. I've seen her, for people that can't see what we see, I've seen her face before. And I feel like it was in a negative context.
You need to see like her full body suit. Like, look up Lori Lightfoot big suit.
Ooh, big suit. So
because she looks like Nathan Fielder when he wears his like fake suit.
I love Nathan Fielder. Oh wow.
This is a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then there's one. Her by the podium. Yeah, holding the like book thing on the left, second
all the way to the left.
or second row. Sorry.
Yeah. Left,
That
right
one.
next to you. Yeah.
Look at her pants. yeah. A lot of kids
she's wow, dude.
dressed up as her for Halloween.
Yeah, her pants are on the floor.
My roommate said that she's a perfect politician except for her politics.
Excellent. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, she seems like a joy. We're gonna have to do some actual digging on her. I'm gonna have to actually learn what she's about now that we've just like done so much promo. Yeah,
she's like an active fascist.
Yeah. She's like terrible. She's like just a black Trump. It's like all right, black female lesbian Trump. God, that would crush actually, because there would
I am fully, actually, this is my hot take. I think conservative pundits should just be on E! News. Like, they should just be talking shit about celebrities and clothing because they are so clever and interesting. Like, Ben Shapiro had the funniest take on the Wicked movie.
Oh my God, I saw that. Yeah.
And I, like, hate to say it, I agreed with a lot of it.
Yeah. Do you know that's how the pipeline starts, though?
Yeah.
That's what, like...
Just mean gay theater kids.
Yeah, people like, so you know, when I was in like high school, college is when the new Star Wars movies were coming out.
Okay.
And I promise you, this is what like radicalized so many people to go down that pipeline, because he legitimately, at least I don't remember, I haven't revisited it, but when I was that age, he had like deconstructed those movies as they were coming out, and I already didn't like them. I was like, man, these were bad. But he was like breaking them down, and I was like, yes, no, this is so bad. This is bad. And then like you watch anything else from him, you're like,
what's wrong with me?
Holy shit, I'm a racist, dude. I might be racist. This is not good. And that's so maybe that's the same
I think they should just stick to art.
Yeah.
And musical theater.
Yeah. They can criticize that.
That's the only place that should be fascist.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah.
Because some people need to be off the stage.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a good take. You know what's another take a boomer take of mine that I definitely agree with is the cringe culture is getting a little too much, I think.
Yeah.
Like we're cringing at everything now. People were mad at Timothée Chalamet for like wanting to win an award. Like what is he's at the award show, he's nominated for the award, he spent however many months of his life working on this thing, and people were like genuinely making fun of him because he was like, I'm trying to be great. I'm like, damn, like you can't be sincere for even a second.
Yeah.
And I'm an unhappy person. I love shitting on stuff, man. Like I'm mean as hell. But I was like, really? He can't just be happy for 2 seconds that he won one award. He got snubbed of like all these other awards he wanted to win. He won one of them. He can't give one speech and be like, oh, I'm happy about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you seen that? Like I feel like cringe shit. Like we kind of all, there was this like, I think like in the late 2010s, early 2020s, it was like this awesome moment where it was like all of us that felt like some of like the popular shit people do is fucking lame.
Yeah.
Where we like had a voice, everyone was like agreeing like, they are fucking cringe.
It's basic, it's cringe, yeah.
And now it's like swinging the other way a little too far, where I'm almost like, dude, I can't call every single thing cringe. Like someone will like have their first kid and they'll like post about it. People be like, did you see fucking Mary with her first kid posting on Facebook? Are you kidding me? Like when else were you supposed to post about it? You just had a kid. Like I can't heart that, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I off?
I think that is like 1000% true. Like I work with kids and I've had conversations where I'm like, have you told like your dad you love him? And they're like, no, that's cringe. I'm like,
oh my God.
So here's the thing. That's why we're all lonely.
Yeah. It's like, holy shit, man. Like, it's one thing if, like, somebody's trying too hard in gym class.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's cringe. Dude.
Yeah.
That's good. And I was that guy sometimes. I was that cringy
hey,
guy.
sometimes kickball gets that serious.
Yeah, it does. And it's okay. I'm totally valid if someone's like, yo, that guy's being cringe. I get that. I can own that. And I would do the same thing to someone else. But you got to be shitting me. You can't tell your fucking father you love him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I know. People, I think this is going to be a boomer take as well, but I think technology and social media, and especially like the pandemic, like people didn't interact with others in like a physical way for a while. So I think a big part of the population is uncomfortable with discomfort. Yeah. Like they didn't have the developmental stages where they got to be like those awkward little kids. And like, so now a big part of popular culture is just kind of disavowing that. And so people are like, anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, embarrassed, awkward, or weird is bad, and so I'm just gonna avoid it. And then people just aren't living life. They're just like online commenting that things are cringe.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's a great take, actually. I that's something that's like, I think, especially with social media, and I think that you're probably right that the pandemic accelerated it, where it's like so many people would rather just be the one like having the snarkiest comment
Yeah.
than like ever experience like connection with another human being or like put themselves out there in any type of way.
Yeah.
And that's totally true. That's totally true. At least that from what I see, that's going on 1,000,000%.
Because I see that too with like social justice movements, where it's like people online are gonna immediately critique like a meeting or a march or anything of all the things it did wrong, and instead of like actually going and like having conversations with people of like what we can do differently and like mobilization and tangible efforts we can make. And it's just like, okay, so essentially you're just like talking. You're not really doing anything.
Yeah, and it's like all this. Yeah, I can get behind that. It's the same shit like you see. I mean, I guess different, but like if there's a model or something on a podcast and like they say any type of take, it's like people will be in the comments immediately saying something misogynistic and trying to get like a quick like however many likes, and then like those are the same people in their DMs and whatever. And it's like the same shit with the political stuff, right? Where it's like, dude, you literally wish you could be this person. Like you wish you had access to this person, or wish you had the ability to, even if it's again an inch of change, like the smallest amount of change, like you wish you could be doing something, but you're never gonna get over that because you're afraid to, like you said, be awkward for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people like I have met in my life, and I'm lucky. I'm a bartender, so like I meet and get to talk to a lot of people. I get a lot of practice at it, I guess. But it's like I can't tell you how many people I met that just refuse to like have conversations with strangers.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying be like that guy who like is extra chirpy in the elevator every time you get in the elevator.
Totally.
But it's crazy how many opportunities or friendships or even just random connections I've been able to like build.
Yeah.
Through just like being a human for 5 minutes, whereas other people you see will like do everything they can to avoid it because it is weird. Yeah. Sometimes you sweat a little bit on your back because it's a little. you might have said something a little weird. You can kind of feel them pulling back. You're like, oh shit. Yeah. That was awkward. Whatever. But that's fucking conversation. That's life. You know. And I think you're right. Absolutely right. That I think that's gotten worse.
And I think that's what makes Diego so charming, is like he just approaches every interaction like it's a new friend. Yeah. And it makes you want to be friendly and inviting.
Yeah, that's probably why he does know everybody. Yeah. I would love to go to a Walmart with him.
Oh my God.
I would do that.
You'll leave with the key to the city.
Yeah, honestly. Whoever that mayor is, she should bring Diego out and she get some more votes.
No, literally, her new alderman.
Yeah. Shit, dude, that would be crazy. Diego 2028. I'm voting for him. Have you ever given a foot job?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Do you know of the foot job craze?
I am definitely... Okay, here's actually Women's Month. I think men with foot fetishes are the only non-misogynistic men.
Whoa.
And I'm going to stand by that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot, a few of our most viral clips revolve around foot fetishes, so this will be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know why do you think that?
I think it's because they value the foot in such a way that it is like objectifying of the foot only, and then when they're in relationship with the woman, they just like value her as a person, and like her body isn't really anything other than the feet, and so all they care about is building relationship with this woman and like seeing her as a person, and like she's not just like a means to something. Like they truly like worship her.
You don't think it's a means to the foot or feet maybe?
I think I had a better point about this because I've been thinking about this for a while.
You've been thinking about it, all right?
Because I keep seeing men with feet fetishes for fetish. I can't talk right now, but
is it feet? No, foot fetish.
Foot fetish.
Foot fetish, right? Yeah.
Foot fetish, singular. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. With a foot fetish or a fetish for feet.
A fetish for feet. Yeah. A foot fetish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've been thinking about it a lot because you keep seeing them, you said.
Yes. And I had like a whole master's thesis about this. However, unfortunately, it is at the editors. So we've only got the pre-script right now.
All right.
But yeah, I truly, because I think they're the only ones that like actually love women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man.
Now you have to come out as a foot fetishist or hating women.
Or hating women. Yeah, that's a tough predicament. Yeah, I just don't know. How do you, but like, Could you be with someone that had a foot fetish then? I mean, if they're the only.
I've never been with someone who's like explicitly stated it. I've definitely hooked up with people who have been primarily attracted to it. However,
I don't know. Like, I feel like one, the person giving the foot job has to be pretty talented to be able to do. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I can pick stuff up with my toes.
I'd get a Charlie horse.
But yeah, there's no like the flexibility as well as like the core strength to like keep your feet up, you know, and do that. Like I don't know why I just did that motion on camera. I don't.
It's awesome.
I just don't think I would be able to do it. And on the flip side of it, like receiving, I don't like.
And then it makes me think like, because I know a person with a foot fetish has like specific types. Like some really like it when it's calloused, some really like it when it's smooth. And so I'm like, a foot job with calluses sounds awful.
Yeah, that sounds tough. A little rough. Like, and my question is like, when does it happen, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
is that foreplay?
Yeah, is that foreplay? Because if that's what they get off on the most, like you don't want to blow the low, right? So like, do they just like get through the fucking to like get to like, all right, babe, like you came, like it's my time now, like let me back you up a little bit and let's get the feet out. Like,
you should like go on Sniffies and ask for a foot fetishist.
Maybe we should get someone on with the foot fetish.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'll sit in the room.
You would? Yeah. You just sit behind me with
I'll
your
just
feet
take
up?
notes.
Yeah, for the paper, for science purposes.
I can hold the cue cards with my feet.
So you've never given any of our listeners, let us know if you've ever given or received a foot job and if it was a good time, because I don't know.
Socks on?
Yeah. What if they had like, you know, like how like if someone goes to like a mental institution or something,
famous,
they get the
grippers. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be interesting. That would be interesting.
I bet gorilla grip feet.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. Yeah. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. I was just curious if you ever had given one, but you haven't.
No. I like to say not yet, because I'm not really one to say no.
Okay. Fair.
I want to keep similar to how I have a hopeful attitude towards the world.
Hopeful.
I don't want to close my world off.
Yeah. There's a great song on TikTok right now that I just shout out. There's a I Need a Foot Job song on TikTok. It's great. So if you guys haven't heard that, look that up later. It's phenomenal.
Not on the work computer.
Not on the work computer at all. We were talking before we went live, and you are a therapist.
I am.
And we don't got to get into like all the specifics, but like,
do you want like social security number?
What does like what kind of person becomes a therapist? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 27.
27. All right.
Yes.
26. Like, so you're a pretty new therapist.
Yes. Yeah.
Why did you want to become a therapist specifically?
The joke is always that we're deeply broken and trying to fix ourselves.
Yeah.
However, I like to say I'm a person that tries everything. And so I went to college for creative writing and gender studies.
Yeah.
And essentially learned that I like talking to people.
Yeah.
And so I worked at a women's shelter in El Paso, Texas during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And really, really loved being a like caseworker there and working in social work. And I missed the Midwest though, so I moved to Milwaukee in 2022 or 2021. Whoa.
4 years now.
I know.
Yeah.
Almost a senior.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and then went to grad school and pretty much was just like, I love talking to people. I feel like I try to make a safe space for everyone I talk to. I am a weird person, so I feel like that's inviting to people and they can be like themselves around me.
That's something I've noticed in people that either I relate to well or something that I try to do to endear people to me, like, and try to get people to relate to me, is just showing that stupid, like, I feel like the dumbest, weirdest parts of us is what brings people together, even though it's like literally the things that you would think like, this makes me want to isolate, this makes me want to not, I don't want to show anybody this stuff. It's usually that stuff that endears people to you.
Totally.
What's the hardest part about being a therapist, being a young therapist?
I would definitely say like distancing yourself from the caseload, especially because I work with kids, so I feel a lot of responsibility. And
how do you not take it home?
Yeah, I have so I'm not religious, however I have been like walking around the lake for an hour every day, and I just like assign personalities to the ducks. And so
She's not religious, but there's some other things going on.
Yeah,
here.
I like to believe in the spiritual power and connectedness.
Sure. So what are some of these ducks? What are they all about?
I just love watching them dive under the water, and some of them have really crazy hair.
All right.
And I don't know, they're like bluegills, I think, or bluebills. I don't know. There's one that's like.
Have you named any of them?
I haven't named any of them, but they're like, I don't know. Can you see kind of?
I can see that, yeah.
They have like really fun like feathers that kind of look like mohawks.
Whoa.
Aren't those awesome?
I've never even.
And so, no, you gotta go to the lake. Like,
I mean, I go to the lake. I've never seen one with a duck with a mohawk.
There's like a crew of 30 that hang out by the art museum, and they are so fun. They just like chase each other around like in the water, and then they like do like a big dive in, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
So I just kind of hyperfixate on that.
That helps you sort things out and sort of distance yourself from the caseload.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've also gotten better at like letting myself just cry, like because sometimes there are things that are really sad and no one really has control over.
Can you cry in a session?
Or
would that be unprofessional?
I haven't cried yet. I definitely get like teary-eyed like as they're like starting to cry, because that's just kind of like part of like holding space with them, because some of them have shared that they feel awkward when I'm just like looking at them. And so yeah, I just kind of like unconsciously like get teary-eyed as they like say something or disclose something.
If it's heavy, it's heavy, you know?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever cry about anything stupid and you're like, I'm gonna have to fake it right now?
Oh, I wish. I want more stupid shit in therapy.
Yeah? Yeah. That's fair. I would, maybe I gotta get my therapist to cry. That's a new challenge unlocked.
You should.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it can't be like, at their expense. It's gotta be like
You can't just like bully them.
Yeah. That would be cool too. But no, I wouldn't do that. Wow, so no, you need more stupid stuff in therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun when the kids are like totally just themselves and talk about like, because a lot of them are like at stages in life where they don't see the purpose in school and they just want to become like YouTubers and get really rich really fast. And so it's fun like shooting the shit about that, because I'm like, okay, who's gonna do your taxes?
Yeah.
Okay, how are you gonna like, what's your recording schedule? What are you gonna talk about? And just kind of like go through that, and then they're like, oh, I need to like go to school.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit. Do they ever does anyone ever like really like think they have it all figured out?
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, I think back to when I was 14 and I was like writing cover letters to be like the editor-in-chief at Vogue.
Oh, all right. There you go. Excellent. Yeah.
Double Words Prada hit home.
Yeah. Shit, dude. I could have. Yeah. I mean, when I was 14 too, I think I had it all figured out too. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
It's not until maybe I think I was like 22 when I was like, man, it's not gonna work out for me.
Yeah.
That's when I started to sink in. Like, maybe I didn't have it figured out.
No, I was like, oh, I should have listened to my mom.
Yeah, mom's always right. We were talking before we went live too. You mentioned that you love talking dating. Are you dating anybody now? I know we talked a little about giving out foot jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not doing any of that today. Dating wise, are you dating? Are you actively like going on dates? Like, what's?
That's the other thing.
What
I just deleted all the dating apps in like January.
Whoa.
Because pretty tragic series of events. Not actually. I'm just dramatic.
All right. Okay. I got nervous for a second.
But no, yeah. I am someone who studied poetry in college and has a lot of thoughts about the human spirit.
Okay.
And that is not quite attractive to straight men or queer women, at least in my experience. And so I have been focusing on myself by personalizing the ducks.
Sure. Yeah, the ducks will help. The ducks can help with that. So you were on the dating apps.
Yes, yeah.
Any good stories from the dating app days?
I'm trying to think.
Or any maybe terrible?
Yeah, mostly like horrendous.
How is that like when you you meet somebody for the first time? Like, how often, I guess, or how frequent do you message someone before you maybe go on that first in-person date or meetup or whatever?
Yeah, I love to make rules that only I have to follow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I beat myself up if I break them.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
So I usually try to talk to them for like less than a week, and then try to get an in-person date on the docks, just because I don't want to be like a pen pal.
Yeah.
And I am definitely like, I always got like super nervous before dates, because once again, I don't talk to like boys.
Sure.
And so I would be like, oh shit, like what am I gonna do? And then I was like, okay, let's get this off the table, like let's just actually meet.
Yeah.
So I would say less than a week. And then we'd go on a first date for like coffee or something. And
yeah, that's a safe bet. I feel like, if you're gonna go somewhere, if you have to take someone on a first date, I feel like you have to do coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else can you do that's like, you need to be somewhere public.
Yeah.
Especially for like, in a woman's case, like your own safety, right?
Yeah.
Like that's something that I had to like kind of learn about in the last however many years. So like, oh yeah, you can't just like hang out with, you can't, as a dude, you're like, oh, I could just pull up to your house, I don't care. And they're like, no.
I did that for a second date once. A dude picked me up and Diego was like, you are asking to get murdered.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like there's like a party like an innocence that's lost, that you like realize, you're like, oh shit, yeah, it is a little insane actually to just like get picked up by them. But yeah, coffee, it's like, it's in public, it's cheap, it could be 30 minutes or it could be 3 hours, like they're not gonna kick
like,
you out.
Let's go to like the farmer's market, or like, do you want to go get lunch, or blah blah blah.
Or foot job.
Or a foot job.
Foot job too. Okay, what's like the worst first date you had in your Tinder? Or...
This one, okay. This is my like absolute worst first date, and it's before I was still a minor.
We gotta put something up.
No, yeah, like I told you this could get federal.
Yeah. In a video game. Everything moving forward is in a video game. Sure.
But so I played club volleyball. I was like a really big volleyball player, and
were you pretty good?
I was.
Yeah.
I was captain.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Leadership skills.
Yeah. Do you have a pretty good overhand serve?
Oh yeah. I jump serve.
Jump serve?
Yeah.
Shit, bro. What was your longest streak?
We
used to do
I went
that.
23 points.
That's almost a nuke, dude.
I know. It sucked when we lost the point.
Yeah. Fuck though. That's badass though. Okay,
yeah.
Continue. So you were volleyball star.
Yes. So this was like 6th or 7th grade. And it doesn't get sexual. This is just like a horrible date.
Good.
And so, yeah, I'm not like 12 fucking.
Yeah. I mean, shit.
Yeah. But
Ohio. I don't know what's going on in Ohio. So.
Right.
Well, that was college.
Yeah. I'm from Missouri. I grew up in St. Louis. I'm from all over.
Yeah. There's a lot of. Okay.
But my friend asked me to go to the mall with her. And I was like, okay, gorgeous. I only hang out with girls. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
And
there we go.
Her mom picks us up and drops us off, and then her boyfriend shows up, and he has a friend, and she's sneaking me and like sneak attacking me with this 2-man, and so I'm like, fuck no, I don't talk to boys, I'm not a whore.
Yeah, fuck no.
And she did set me up on this blind date with a literal Nazi. He was a 12-year-old Nazi.
Whoa, how did you find this out?
He said that we should burn fat people for fuel. And I was a fat kid.
Isn't that the best part about like a young Nazi, is like how their worldview just doesn't add, like it's like, I'm trying to get some puss right now.
No, I was like, we're in Claire's.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. How did that even come up, man?
Because
what fuel are we getting from burning fat people?
No, honest to God, I was so confused. And I was like looking in the mirror, like looking at my stomach and just being like, he wants to kill me.
Oh, you think he was threatening you?
No, I was like, oh my God. I was literally like, he wants to burn me in an incinerator and like run his car on me. Like,
wow.
And
that's a bad first date.
It was horrible. That was my first date ever.
Did that ruin 2-mans for you?
Yeah. I don't think I've been on one since.
Shit, dude. That's sad. That's sad.
Because he said some other like out of pocket shit where he was like, I want to kill my mom.
Oh my.
And he was like, I'm going to go to the military academy next year. And I was like, for 8th grade? Do they have like child soldiers?
That's the worst person that we need to train how to kill people.
I'm scared of. I forgot his name, but I really want to look him up.
Yeah, dude. Fuck your friend. What is her problem? Who is the guy she's with?
They were like, just like classic like 2000 scene kids. Like wearing like the like purple hoodie and like not quite like Cookie Monster pajama pants, but like Osiris shoes.
Oh yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does paint a picture actually.
And I was just like super preppy, like monograms, just like wanting to go to the mall.
Yeah. Go to Claire's and just chill.
And I found out that I should be burned for fuel, and he's gonna kill his mom.
God, dude, what the fuck?
And that was probably my worst first date.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I didn't even have a phone to ask my mom to pick me up. I had to wait the whole date.
Just hang out with the Nazi the rest of the day. Man,
I had like $4.
Have you ever? So that was like, yeah. I mean, that was pretty fast. You found out he was trash.
Yeah.
Have you ever had it like, you know, like if you're like casually dating, like you're on a date with somebody and maybe they drop something that like.
Oh
is
yeah.
clear, you know, like how everyone was joking, like if you hated the halftime show, like we know who you voted for the halftime show. Did anybody? Have you ever been on a date where somebody like drops some little bit of lore and you're like, oh, fuck?
I had one guy that I was seeing who, out of literally nowhere, just was like talking to me and goes, "Do you have Tourette's?"
Whoa.
And then he just like started saying that I had big pores and a bad hairline and that I should lose 80 pounds. And I was like, I'm gonna go.
How long were you seeing? Was this like a first date?
I hooked up with him for like a month after.
After that.
No, I like hate saying that on air because negging does not work. I just have low self-esteem.
Dude, that's an insane. He really said it. Was that like?
Yeah. He was not
like
joking.
Was this like a rant that he went on? Like, was he just rant?
It was like a 5-minute conversation.
What is that a conversation? Like
because
the conversation is like your clothes whack, your shoes whack, face whack, and you're just like, interesting point, interesting.
No, that's my problem. Is I never like shut people down like that.
You got to, bro. How?
Because I'm like, let's see where they go. Maybe this is valuable feedback.
Were you asking for feedback? How do we even get here?
We were like kissing, and I was like, "What are you looking at?" Because he was like staring at me when we like pulled away or whatever, and he was like, "Your pores." And then I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm looking at your hairline." And I was like, And then I just kind of like sat up and was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he just like, we just started talking randomly, and then he would just like throw in other things in the middle, and I was like, okay, this is like, I don't know what to do.
I guess I wouldn't know what to do either in that situation.
Right?
Dude.
I'm like, do you kick him out? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Fuck, what did you do?
I
just take it?
I just kind of took it.
And then you guys just banged after that? And
yeah.
Wow. I don't know if he probably didn't learn any type of lesson from that.
No.
Wow.
Pretty devastating.
Hopefully he's not out in the wild.
He 1000% is. He's a photographer.
Good for him.
It's Diego.
Yeah, it's Diego. Shit.
That's how we met.
God, dude. God, that's crazy. We got Sarah Critchfield is the most beautiful and radiant woman alive, says Brianne.
Oh, thanks, Bri.
Shout out, Bri.
That's the really funny comedian I was telling you about earlier.
We got to get her on the show.
You should, yeah.
Absolutely, that would be fun. Wow, that is terrible.
I know.
We've had people, like, a lot of people tell, like, different dating stories and whatnot on here, and that's pretty bad. That's got to be up there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know what you were doing then the next month.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me more concerned. Where were your friends?
Telling me not to.
All right, at least they were trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever, I mean, hopefully they did this to you, if like somebody's not good to your friend.
Yeah.
And you know, right? Like maybe let's say like a significant other cheated or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then your friend confides in you like, dude, this person cheated on me, like we're done. And then they like get back together. Like weeks later or whatever, and they bring them around again.
Yeah.
Are you someone like, would you be passive aggressive with this person? Are you going to be pissed? Are you like standoffish? Or are you just like, you know, they want to be with them. It's not my call, so I'm going to accept them, whatever. I'm going to talk to them. If they're here, like, I got to deal with them.
Yeah.
How do you handle that situation?
It depends on what my relationship to the partner that cheated was before they did that. Yeah. Like, if I'm friends with both of them, it would be, like, a much different scenario, but...
Say it's just your homie?
It's just my friend, and their partner cheated.
Yeah.
I, unfortunately, as a therapist, I, like, feel like... a big thing I'm working on is not having control over my friends and like not feeling this desire to like make decisions for them.
Yeah.
So I'm actively working on supporting them, and while I have my own thoughts about it, I'll disclose with them like how I feel and what I think about it.
Yeah.
And I'll also be like, I'm here for you. Like, I don't necessarily agree that this person is shown that they're going to change. However, like, if you trust them, I trust them. And if shit happens, I'll be here for you regardless.
Is that hard for you to do? You say is there something you're actively working on?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. That's something that similarly, I've had situations recently where like big traumatic life events happen to people close to me. And like, I have a tendency to want to try to solve those problems for them.
Totally.
And then also get upset because they will come to me for advice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you're coming to me for advice, then you must value the advice. So then I give them the advice, and then they don't do it, and then I get fucking pissed. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you listen?
Yeah.
So getting better at like trying to, still offer that love and that discourse. Like, hey, I will tell you what I feel. If you genuinely are asking me, I will tell you how I feel about the situation. But if I can't control that, it's hard to do because you want to like. I have a problem with control in general. Like, I want to control everything.
Totally. And it's really hard too with like especially abusive situations. Like I've had friends that have experienced like domestic violence and like sexual assault from partners, and they still want to be with them. And so with that, like I worked with my therapist at the time how to like manage my feelings around that, because like the only people that can make the decision to leave is them. And so all you can do as a support system or friend is to like have a bed for them if they need to flee, tell them to like have the keys by the door and like shoes by the door, have like essentially just tell them that you're there for them and that they get to make the decision, they're in control, and to trust their gut, and that you're not okay with the situation too.
So it's okay to let them know I'm not cool with this, but maybe not necessarily okay to stir up the pot, like get upset with them and be like, I hate you now.
You can be angry.
Listen.
I would just, it depends on how important the friendship is, and if you are at a place where you can be supportive. And you can also say a boundary is like, if you're going to continue being in this relationship, I can't be like a confidant for you, or like I can't be the person you go to with problems in it. Like
if you're going to choose, like if a friend of mine is actively going to choose to do something that they've talked to me about, like we kind of both have talked about is maybe not a great decision for them, and then they choose to still do it, I don't want to hear about it. You don't get to come, you don't get to bitch to me about it.
Totally.
After you came to me and I told you, dude, this is clearly a bad call. If you still want to do it, I'm still here for you. Like, I'm still your homie. But if you're gonna be actively in it and then coming to me and complain about it, I don't know. Miss me with that.
And that's when you can say, like, if you come to me with that, I'm not gonna have anything to say about it.
And that's a boundary, because it's what you're gonna do. It's not telling them what they, you can still go do that thing that I disagree with. But I don't have to. I'm just not going to listen to you if you come back to me with that shit.
Being like, if you try to talk to me about it, I'm going to change the subject. I'm going to leave the hang. I'm going to whatever. And that's like what you have control over. And then they can make a decision based on that. Like if they value the friendship and want to talk to you, they might make a different decision, or they might make the same one.
That's fair. That's I'm glad we got some therapist insight today, as well as some of the unhinged stuff. Is there what else did we not get to today that we need to get to? Because I know we're getting close on time, and I don't want you to miss your mic.
Yeah, I know. I'm like sweating. Sorry.
No, it gets hot in here with the lights. I feel it too.
Yeah.
What is there anything, this is your first time being a guest on another podcast?
Yeah.
Being a guest on a show. So is there anything you need to get out into the world, get off your chest that we didn't touch on today?
Listen to Carly Rae Jepsen. The entire discography.
The whole thing.
Start with Emotion and end with Loveliest Time, all the way through.
Okay.
Those are my main one. That's my main thing.
That's your main message.
Yeah.
People need to know.
She is like, she's actually how I met my current best friend and roommate, Drake. We've been besties for like almost 10 years now. We met in college freshman year, and Drake was talking about Carly Rae Jepsen. And I like sprint across the hall, and I'm like, what? And Drake goes, yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen. She saved a dying industry. Ever heard of it? It's music.
Oh, all right. Shit.
And I was like, you know what? I'm in.
Yeah. Favorite Carly Rae Jepsen song?
Psychedelic Switch, Real Love, Boy Problems. There's just so, like, it fits every mood.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Run Away With Me. It's a pop song that starts with saxophones.
Yeah, I don't know any of these. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe I'm not for the culture. I gotta figure it
my
out.
God.
I gotta tap in.
Do you know
I know
Louisa
like
Noy?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was on the show a while back.
She
yeah, she's great.
is like another huge Carly Rae Jepsen fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. She makes. I know. I have some gay friends that are really into
Famous.
shit. Yeah.
She
so
is for the
she's-
queer culture.
Speaking of, this will be our last thing we can wrap on.
Okay.
You seen the stuff with This Is It? It's
Yeah.
fucking closing, dude.
That is crazy.
And you know what's bullshit? I mean, like, I have other people. We'll get into it here in a second.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, This Is It is like the oldest gay bar in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And
Since 68.
yeah, and I mean, there was like construction on that street recently for like the last like year almost. It was like 8 or 9 months. And like I think they were like literally closed. Like they couldn't even let people in because for part of the time the sidewalk was completely destroyed.
Oh
so
my
you couldn't
God.
even like get into the building. So I remember I walk a lot throughout the city. And so like I
Yeah.
would always walk by and be like, dude, you literally like if I wanted to go here right now, I don't even know how I would get in.
That's
so I can't
crazy.
imagine that was great for business.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah, like a staple of Milwaukee and especially like queer culture
Yeah.
is gone or going to be gone.
I definitely became an investigative journalist when the news came out because I was like, because you know, like what happened with like Company Brewing and how that was kind of like an abrupt close too that they announced like day of.
Yeah.
So I was like, is it tax fraud? Is there like something going on? Did like a developer purchase it? Like, are they relocating? Like, because I was like, right now I think it's like money mismanagement or something and tax or whatever, but I'm just so shocked they wouldn't even do like a closing event or like.
Well, my thought is like, how can you not like? The place is busy. Like the place makes money.
It's constantly packed.
So you can't. I understand it could have been hard for this chunk of time. I'm not unsympathetic to that. But y'all can't. We can't. Someone can't take a fucking loan out.
Literally.
Like it's
I'm
proven.
like, Trixie's a millionaire.
Yeah, and it's a proven model. Like it's been around since the '60s.
Yeah.
So we know it can stay in business. We know it will make the money back.
Mm-hmm.
No one is willing to put up a business loan right now.
Yeah.
If it genuinely, and I don't know the money situation, but if it genuinely is, we just literally the pot ran out, like we have no money. No one is down to go get a loan to keep this place running.
Yeah.
That seems insane to me.
I'm like, if they ran like a fundraiser, like if Trixie came to do a drag show or something, like 1 billion celebrities would be like, let's uphold this like queer institution in the Midwest.
Dude,
and like so much shit. And like even just like local people would like put money into it.
Yeah. And the fact that you're going to like, you're not even going to like, let's say that chunk of time, like the last like 8 months was trash. And I know they went through a pandemic too, obviously, but like tons of other places did too that are still here.
Yeah.
And we're a little bit removed from that now. So it's like, if this last 8 months was so hard with the construction, you've not only should you be putting up a loan or whatever, you also have Pride Month coming up. Like you're going to be even busier. Like it's about to be summertime. Milwaukee is popping in the summer. Like, what are we doing? Just giving up on this?
Yeah.
Is it closed, or is it like?
That's what it said as of today.
Wow.
I know they're not even doing like a last weekend or anything.
That's terrible, man.
I know.
That sucks for all the people that work there too, man. That blows.
Yeah. I did see like on Reddit that there was like weird like sexual harassment going on by management, and so I don't know if like
maybe that played into
something happened, like maybe there was like a court case or something. I have no idea. Literally just going off of like pure assumption.
Yeah. God, that sucked. So yeah, it made me sad. It just was it was like a bummer, and I know it just happened this past weekend. I thought I saw it, so I figured
you should have Diego on again to talk about it.
Yeah, have him give his thoughts. I would love that actually. Yeah, Trixie needs to step up. Yeah, people say in the comments. We absolutely, man. Fork up some money.
I know.
You can't cover this. I don't know. And she's like, oh, I don't.
Quit tweeting about community.
Yeah. You don't get to do it, man. You don't get to do it if you don't fucking. I don't know. That just makes me just sad. That's a bummer, and all the people that like perform there and like do other things there. I think that's just sad to see.
It's also like to do that before the first Pride of this like Trump administration too. It's like, come on.
Like, damn, like
that
it really
sucks.
You're really fucking taking the air out of our sails. Like it feels like every day it's something other bullshit. Yeah, not a great way to end the show actually. Hopefully
and yet I'm hopeful.
Yeah, we're hopeful. yeah, we're trying. Well, I hope or I'm thankful you took the time to be here today.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you for
stopping
having
in.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come to your guys' show now that I've had
Hell
you
yeah.
both on here. Great getting to chat with you. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live today, as well as people that are gonna be listening days after over on Spotify or here on YouTube. Also want to say a quick shout out to our patrons. This should be up on the screen right now.
Woo.
If you guys are interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra videos, extra podcasts, as well as a series where I break down, I mix, master, write, record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita. You can help support the channel for as little as $1. Also want to say a quick shout out to Alpine House 2 for sponsoring another episode of the show. That's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. You can check them out. Tell them that I sent you over there. And with all that being said, this has been the 297th episode of the Detox Podcast. I will see you guys next week. Peace.